I'm Aaron Nagler. I'm here with Mr. Don Banks for SI.com. We're looking at the Baltimore Ravens 2016 NFL Draft. Now, Don, Ozzie Newsome, gold standard, I think a lot of people would say, at the general manager position in the NFL. However, this is a team that crashed and burned pretty badly last year. Now, obviously, a lot of that is injuries, but does he have to restock this team quickly in 2016 via this draft?
I think the fact that they're in the top 10 for the first time since '03, and this is their highest pick since they took Jamal Lewis at number 5 way back in 2000, their Super Bowl year, that's what adds pressure. They don't want to be picking in the top 10. The Ravens aren't used to picking in the top 10. So they want to nail this situation because the Ravens look at it like, we've got the 6th pick, we've got 36, then we got Brashad Perriman, last year's number 1, coming back, who we got nothing out of. Right. They've talked themselves into, we kind of have 3 first-round picks here, albeit one's already in the house. So I think there's a certain sense of urgency in Baltimore this year to restock on that front, not because the cupboard's bare, but because this is unusual territory for the Ravens.
Switching to the defensive side of the ball here, Terrell Suggs, injury obviously, but then the legal problems in the offseason kind of compounding that. You throw in the fact that he and Elvis Dumervil not getting any younger, do they have to look pass rush specifically in this draft?
I think that's where the need list starts, and Steve Bisciotti, their owner, kind of made that clear. Came out at the owners' meetings a couple weeks ago in Boca Raton and said, we need youth in the pass rush for the very reasons you just enumerated. And I think that is where they're hoping the draft falls. However, there's a scenario where they might have to go in a different direction. If Buckner's gone, if Bosa's gone, they'll let it come to them and not force a pick because that's the Ravens' way. But I think in their heart of hearts, they're hoping like a Joey Bosa is still there at number 6.
Switching to the offensive side, you let Osemele walk out the door. You've got Yanda, but he's going to be 32 years old. Is that a case where Baltimore, maybe not right away, but has to address the offensive line?
I think absolutely. I think you could see them give offensive line some love on all 3 days of this draft. I think the Ronnie Stanley situation, if the draft takes the defensive playmakers away from them at number 6, I think they'll sit there and take the Notre Dame offensive tackle. They know they're going to have need for one soon. I could see them making an offensive line pickup in day 2 as well as a couple in day 3.
I've seen them mock taking a running back later in the draft. I've seen Ezekiel Elliott mocked to them. If you're the GM, Don, which way do you go? Which way would you prefer?
I can't see them going running back. Now, if they are sold that he is a special once-in-10-year player, maybe. But they've got Justin Forsett, who they feel pretty good about. They've got some other young backs. I would be shocked if Baltimore went because I think the need is greater elsewhere. Derrick Henry in the 2nd round makes a lot more sense to me than going Ezekiel in the 1st round.
And finally, at quarterback, Joe Flacco, obviously the starter, obviously their guy going forward. Is this a team, with apologies to Gerard Johnson, is this a team that has to draft a developmental quarterback at some point?
I think so, and here they are with 4 fourth-round picks, Aaron, and they love those compensatories, which 2 of those are. But I could see them taking a young quarterback. You know, maybe it's a Cody Kessler, maybe it's Kevin Hogan. But I think there's going to be a quarterback there with one of those 4 fourth-round picks that's going to appeal to them and say, you know what, if Flacco does go back down for any reason, we need more behind him than kind of the assembly line circus show that we saw last year through Baltimore.
Right, well, just to get someone in who knows your system, learns your system, you can bring up your way rather than having to sign someone like Mallet off the street. Makes a lot of sense. As usual, from Don Banks, I'm Aaron Nagler for SI.com.